Hi and welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Friday the 14th of April. Here you can see we have our two tables in front of us. We have the trend traders table and the day traders table. These are the same studies but just highlighting different time frames. You can see here some of the currencies are highlighted in green. That means there's a confluence between those trading time frames, and that's what we'll be focusing most of our attention in these videos. The tables auto update every 5 minutes 24/7, meaning our members can see how the markets stand in real time. Now we're actually going to be talking about some of the currency pairs that we discussed this week. If we go over to our analysis page for our members, we post daily videos including multiple currency pairs, and this week we talked about the Swiss yen, the euro kiwi and euro US dollar. We also featured some other pairs such as the euro yen, for instance, and kiwi Swiss. But we're going to be focusing on a bit of a recap, see how these currency pairs performed in line with our expectations this week, this week and today. We're going to start off with Swiss yen. We can see that the Swiss still remains the sort of dominant strength or strongest currency on our tables. So we're going to stick with our theme of the Swiss franc for the first pair, and we're going to go check out Swiss yen. So you can see here I've marked on where we at last spoke about Swiss yen, which was the 11th of April, and what we talked about was the potential for price to break to the upside, hit the 147.50 handle, and then head towards the 148.50, with overall targets could have been the 150.50 handle. So ever since we kind of came to this day here, price has rallied sort of 70 pips to the next level, 160 pips, and then the high was 300 pips. So lots to have been had out of this Swiss yen pair. Now, when we first discussed it, one of the opportunities we discussed was a potential pullback into the 146 handle for a long opportunity. That didn't happen. However, we also discussed on the hourly time frame this 147 area, and we discussed the consolidation of the 147, which could act as support for price to continue its upward trend. So if you did look for the retest here, I think we actually discussed a limit order in and around 147, stop loss below the lows here, you would have had a nice rally up to the 147.50 and the 148.50 and beyond that. So nice move there from the Swiss yen. So if you did follow that analysis there, you could have profited really nicely on that pair. Now, another pair of interest for us was euro US dollar. We were talking about the potential for price to trade through the 1.1 handle. So if we head over to euro dollar, you can see that price has done that. Now, price at the time being at this level here, I expected a pullback first, or I was looking for a break and retest. Now, because we didn't really get either of those yet, we can't really say that we would have had X amount of pips here, or I traded for X amount of pips, because I haven't looked at any opportunities here just yet, because my first opportunity or my first alert was down at the 1.0930 handle down through here. Price hasn't retraced, however price has broken through. So now we can kind of look at the potential for a pullback and a continuation up to the 1.1175. So I'd say this pair at the moment is still kind of making its way for us, in terms of it's still building up a potential opportunity at the moment, but an opportunity hasn't formed quite yet. Another currency pair we looked at going into this week was euro kiwi. Now, kiwi was very weak on the tables this week, so I like the opportunity of euro kiwi, and euro kiwi is actually potentially in our setup area now. So if I bring in the tables again, we'll see that the kiwi doesn't appear on our day traders, which is unfortunate, because if it had been on our day traders here, I would have been more inclined to look for a potential position here today, because what we discussed was the fact that we were breaking this 1.75 area, or the 1.75 area, and looking for a move up to the 1.7950 if we were to get two closes above. Now, the daily has given us the two closes above. Yesterday we saw some a sharp move back, and now we're near the 175 again. So for me at the moment, if I just move that back a little bit, I would be looking now for reversal patterns in here. So what I'd like to see maybe is another pullback down, a failure to stay below 175, and then that could provide an opportunity. So maybe early into next week, if we see Kiwi come back to the weak side of the table, that could provide us with an opportunity as long as Euro remains on the strong side. So again, this market just in that sort of setup phase at the moment. Now, another chart we discussed going into this week was Kiwi Swiss. We talked about further downside, and we also talked about Euro Yen, but I'm going to go Kiwi Swiss first, just because Kiwi Swiss has continued to move down to sort of our target or our expectations. Again, we expected further downside towards the 0 spot 550 handle, so we had that occur. What we did discuss was potential for a bit of sideways movement and a breakout to happen. Would have been very difficult to trade in that area, so if you did trade at this point, the only thing I said we could have done was trade back from the high here. So if you did take that position, you would have got around about 40 pips. For me, I'm looking for a bigger pullback. I'm looking for price to continue up towards these previous areas of resistance for a continuation to the downside. At the moment, because Kiwi's weakening here, you can see it against the Swiss franc, we may not get that pullback, but you know, looking for a bit of a retracement here first. So again, one currency pair really outperformed for us this week, which was Swiss yen, rallied nearly 300 pips to the upside. And again, you only need one of these per week to get some real good gains in this market. We also looked at some other pairs of interest which have kind of started to potentially form, so keep those in mind going into the start of next week. Hope you enjoyed all the content this week. I know it's been a short week, but I hope you enjoyed all the content, and I'll catch you in the next video.